YouTube, Gallagher123123, good to be back with you again. In front of me, I have my 2019 iPad Air. And if you watched my video, you will remember that we unboxed and set this up. And so, in this video, we're going to take a look at it. I've had it now for about a month and a half, I'd say. So, what do I think of it? Well, I'm going to show you. We're going to start out with taking a better, closer look at the smart keyboard. As you might remember, when I was unboxing it, I had a bit of trouble figuring out how it went on. It's actually not that difficult at all, so the easiest thing to do is to open everything up and then put the iPad with the home button to the right, and then just put the iPad behind the smart keyboard, and you'll eventually feel it click in. So it's pretty easy. It's very magnetic. So I'm not going to show you that, but I have it attached to the iPad now, so I'll show you how it works. And so I'm going to go ahead and open the iPad.
8:22 p.m.
You'll see that there is a little, I'm trying to see how to describe, you can feel where the keyboard is. And that kind of lifts up. As you can see, it's lifted up, and it comes down like this. So then you kind of pick up the iPad and you bring it towards it. And then, so you bring the iPad towards the keyboard, and it aligns with these grooves, which you can see are right there. And so then what you do is you kind of pick up the iPad, and it goes right into those grooves, with it still attached at the back here to the cover. So I'm going to do it, put the phone down and do that, because when I tried to do it, this is my second time recording this, the case came unattached, so I'm just going to do it. But basically you lift up the iPad and bring it to the case. And so it just clicked, and then you just let it go back like that. And I'm going to move it in. And you can see back here a bit that it's like a little, the back almost feels then like a triangle. And that is the smart keyboard is attached. God, that screen's filthy. Sorry about that, guys. Now you might notice that I do have a case on my iPad, which I decided to do because I was concerned when I thought about how much I'd be bringing the iPad around. You know, I didn't want it to get destroyed, so I thought that maybe it was time I did get a case for it. Wasn't my first choice. I loved the iPad without the case on it, but I figured that maybe it was the best thing to do, and I'm actually glad I did. I think it was a good decision. The case I got wasn't too expensive. If anyone wants it, I can give you the link if you want this case. So now that the keyboard is attached, you can just type on it, use similar voiceover navigation commands, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I want to show you another neat thing about the keyboard. It is super flexible, so you can lift this iPad out, and it's kind of similar. You just almost like you're picking it up. Now, I'm going to do it again off camera, so I don't want this to become detached, but as you can see, I now have the iPad off of the keyboard, and then the keyboard can be folded back like that, kind of. Yep. And then you can pick it up and, oops. And let the keyboard kind of go to the back, and then put it flat down, or hold it. So you could use this then like a regular iPad, and I'll show you how it looks on the back when you do that. So it's basically you're putting the keyboard back behind the iPad, then you're able to use the iPad normally. So I can unlock it. Now lock it again. And then you can kind of lift it up and then close everything like that when you're done. Just lay it closed like a book. So that is really neat. Now, I'm going to reattach Smart Keyboard and I'll continue from there. So the keyboard is now attached again, which is how we had it. And this is the way I'm going to keep it for the video, because I'm now going to talk about what I've liked about using the iPad. And I might demo a few things here and there. So, finally, now the part that you're all curious about. What's my experience been like? So, as you will probably remember, I received this iPad in the mail on April 26th. It is now June 17th, so I've had it a good while. And over that time, I have actually done a lot with it. There have been a few days here and there that I've been able to not bother booting up my MacBook Pro and just getting things done on the iPad. Sending emails, browsing the web, working on a few summer papers for my college course. I was able to do that quite comfortably on the iPad. I mean, some things I haven't found to be as nice as using the MacBook Pro, but it still worked. And as you can imagine, the iPad Air is quite a bit lighter than a MacBook Pro because it's smaller. So it's been really nice, you know, when I went on a trip there about last week, 2 weeks ago now. I did bring the MacBook Pro, but I didn't use it as much. I just used the iPad Air. So what do I like? Well, why don't we unlock it and take a look at a few things. So I'm just going to press the home button. And it recognized this has Touch ID, which we set up in the video, and it unlocked. So I'm just going to press my home button to go into it.
Photos, one photo stream update.
8:30. Oh, there's one of my talking clock apps that I use on the iPad, because I like it. And now we're on the home screen. You should be able to actually see that pretty well. Yeah, not a lot of glare on that this time. So let's take a look. Turn the sound up a little bit, maybe. There we go. So I'm going to start at the very top of my home screen. I'm going to show you what I have installed. So at the very top,
Photos, one photo stream update.
The first page I have set as kind of, apps that aren't in folders that kind of come with it. So we have photos. Now I'm going to use the right arrow on the Smart Keyboard to move through these.
Camera. Clock, 8:30 p.m.
Turn down one.
Maps. Home.
Maps. Well, clock, maps, home.
Notes.
The Notes app, we're actually going to go in here in a little bit.
Voice memos.
Voice memos.
Reminders, 2 tasks due today.
Reminders.
News.
News.
Settings.
And settings.
Page 2 of 3, adjustable.
Now we come to the page controls to go to the next page. So I am going to just swipe up to go to the next page.
Page 3 of 3.
And we're on page 3. Now that's the way it is on the iPhone as well, that page 2 was the first page of your home screen. So I'm going to go put my finger around up the top of it.
Folder, 4 apps.
And we have a beta folder. I'm not going to open that up. That's where I keep a few apps that I am testing.
Chime clocks folder, 2 apps.
Chime clocks. I will just show you what's in here. Let's open it up.
Chime clocks, heading.
I have the Chime app, which is the one that you just heard saying 8:30 in that female voice a minute ago. Next we have the very well-known
Westminster chimes full.
Westminster chimes full, and I'm just flicking. I could also use the left and right arrows.
Chime. Westminster chimes full.
Now I'm going to do a 2-finger scrub. That's kind of like moving your fingers back and forth a bit. And
Clocks folder,
Chime
2
Clocks
apps.
folder has been closed. So I will now press the right arrow.
Entertainment folder, 6 apps, 4 new items.
And next we come to some entertainment, because what's life without entertainment? I'll double tap.
Entertainment, heading.
And I'll use my right arrow this time to go through them.
Hulu.
I do have Hulu, but I don't know how long I'm keeping that. I'm just doing a few months of it to see what I think.
Prime Video.
Prime Video. I'm sure everyone's heard of that from Amazon. I get that as being a Prime member.
Spotify.
I have Spotify because I do listen to it from time to time, the free version.
TuneIn Radio.
TuneIn Radio, got that for listening to some radio stations.
TV.
TV app, Apple's app for watching your purchased content, and among other things.
YouTube, 4 new items.
And, well, you all know what that is because you're watching it. Good old YouTube. So that's what I have in entertainment. Let's do a scrub.
Entertainment folder, 6 apps, 4 new
And
items.
go to the right.
Food folder, 2 apps.
And food. Food. That's always a good thing. Let's open that up.
Food, heading.
So in here I have
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats and
Papa Gino's.
Papa Gino's. Actually, I need to fix the order of those because they are not in alphabetical order. I'm surprised I didn't notice that till now. And as you've probably noticed by now, that everything on the this page that we're looking at, I have in alphabetical order except for this, so I need to fix it. Okay, let's do a scrub.
Food miscellaneous folder, 7 apps, 11 new items.
Here's miscellaneous. This is where I keep, apps that I don't know what folder to put them in, or I don't have enough in a category to make a folder for. So
Miscellaneous, heading.
we have a few things here.
Carrot weather.
I have my Carrot Weather app in here. That is a wonderful weather app. If anyone's looking for a weather app for iOS.
Discover, 10 new items.
My Discover Card app.
Find my iPhone.
Of course, Find My iPhone.
Playgrounds.
Swift Playgrounds, that's something I want to explore a bit.
Seeing AI.
Seeing AI.
Shutterfly, 1 new item.
Shutterfly, it's a service I like to use for requesting photo prints.
Speed test.
And speedtest.net.
Speed test.
So those are what I have here. Let's just do a scrub there.
Miscellaneous folder, shopping folder, 5 apps.
Now, shopping. What could I have here? Let's double tap to open that up.
Shopping, heading, Amazon.
Amazon. Anyone know what that is? Not sure if I do. No, I love Amazon.
App Store.
The App Store.
Apple Store.
At the Apple Store app, because might as well do some more shopping for some more wonderful Apple products.
iTunes Store.
The iTunes Store app. And
Parcel,
a shipping tracking app that I absolutely love. And if you're looking for one, I highly recommend it. If you want to see a review of that, I can maybe do that. Okay, let's scrub.
Shopping travel folder, 2 apps.
And finally, we have the travel folder.
Travel.
And
heading.
in here, I have
Hilton Honors.
Hilton Honors and
Marriott Bonvoy.
the Marriott Bonvoy app, which that's the kind of the new name now for Marriott Rewards. Both are very good programs. I'm part of both. So I have both of their apps. And
Travel
just
folder,
scrub.
2, page 3 of 3, adjustable.
There's the page control again. Now if we go to the right again, we're going to come to the dock.
Dock, messages, 40 unread messages.
Now, on an iPhone you have a dock as well, and on the Mac as well, but on the iPhone, you've probably seen that. And it only allows for 4 apps. You can put many more on the iPad's dock. That was a change introduced in iOS 11. So, I'll now show you what's on here. And these are apps I consider important enough that I check often, or that kind of thing that I want easy access to, so I put them here. I have Messages,
Safari.
Safari,
Music.
music,
Mail, 265 unread
mail,
emails.
and now we're going to come to some folders. Again, they'll be in alphabetical.
Education folder, 3 apps.
Education, let's double tap to go in here.
Education, heading.
In here I have 3 apps.
Student.
The Canvas student app, because that's what my college uses.
Talking typer.
Talking Typer, I'm sure you're familiar with that. It's a very popular Windows app, but they made a version for the iPhone and iPad.
Wikipedia.
And Wikipedia, because I know I learn a lot from Wikipedia. Let's do a scrub.
Doc, education folder, 3 apps.
And then we'll go to the right.
Information folder, 3 apps.
Now here we have information. Let's go in here.
Information, 1 password.
I have my 1Password app, a great password manager.
Calendar, Monday, June 17th.
Calendar.
Contacts.
And contacts. So I'll now do a 2-finger scrub.
Doc, information, social folder, 5 apps, 12 new items.
And our social folder. Let's go in here.
Social, heading.
In here we have
Facebook.
Facebook,
FaceTime.
FaceTime,
Messenger, 12 new items.
Messenger,
Twitterific.
Twitterific, and
Team Talk.
Team Talk. All very useful and fun apps. So let's do a scrub.
Doc, social productivity folder, 7 apps.
And probably one of the most important categories, we have productivity.
Productivity, heading.
And here I have
Dropbox.
Dropbox,
Drive.
Google Drive,
Files.
Files, which is my main way of accessing these,
Pages.
the Pages app for word processing,
Writer.
Voice Dream Writer, which currently I don't do too much with,
EasyPTF.
EasyPDF,
Voice Dream Reader.
and Voice Dream Reader. Actually, there's some things I need to fix in here as well. Of course, we know what Voice Dream Reader is, or at least I hope you do. It's a wonderful app that allows you to read from a variety of content sources. Highly recommend you check that out if you don't already have it. And do a scrub.
Doc, productivity folder, 7 apps.
And now we're going to come to the suggestions area of the dock. And these are apps that you've used recently. So we will see 3 of them, because there are usually 3 here. So if I go to the right,
Suggestions, tune and radio.
I have Tune in Radio here.
YouTube, 4 new items.
Hello again, YouTube.
Notes.
And Notes.
Notes.
So that is, as of now, the apps that I use on my iPad Air. So, as you can see, I can get a lot done using those apps. I mean, Pages has allowed me to get some college work done. YouTube has provided entertainment. And I have been able to do a lot of searches and read a lot of great stuff in Safari. But one neat thing that you can do with an iPad, and this is something I've started exploring only recently, you can open 2 apps side by side. So I'd like to just quickly show how that works. It won't be a very detailed demo, but I just want to show how it works. So I'm going to find
Page.Safari.
the Safari app, and I'm going to double tap it.
Safari, back button.
And now I already have a web page loaded for us to work with and ready to go. And this is the agenda for the 2019 NFB convention in Las Vegas, Nevada, which I am very much looking forward to attending in a few weeks. So what I'm going to do, let's say we wanted to take notes on kind of, we see some sessions and we want to write what we're curious about that will be covered in each of the sessions. So, we can just explore Safari like normal.
7:30 to 8:45 a.m. Amateur Radio Division. Emergency Preparedness. Heading level. Bullet. List. Coral B. Bullet. Discuss convention frequencies, hotel architectural features, and distribution of special FM. 7:30 a.m. Bullet. Lit. Trade winds D. Bullet.
Now, I happen to know there's a JAWS session with Freedom Scientific. So, if we can bring up the Find dialog, Control Option F.
Enter search text.
And I'll type J. W S. Center.
8:30 to 11:30 a.m. What's new with JAWS, Fusion, and Zoom Text? Heading level 2.
And here it is.
Bullet, list, trade wins F.
So now I can learn that it's in trade wins F.
Bullet. Discounted home annual licenses for all attendees. Join Eric Damery for his annual user group NFB meeting with everyone using JAWS, Fusion, or Zoom Text. Demonstration and discussion of all the new developments during the past year. Eric Damery, list end.
So, let's say now I want to take down some information about that. I can go to the dock by doing either a swipe up, kind of a swipe up, kind of like you do on the new iPhones, and then do a very quick swipe down.
Dock, Safari.
Or I could have pressed Command Option D, and that would have brought up the dock. So now that we have the dock up, we can see that we have all the apps that I showed you before that are here.
Safari.
So let's say I want to use notes. I know that's at the very right, so I'm just gonna
YouTube, formed what notes?
Find it there. And now if I swipe down,
pin notes to the left.
We can pin notes. We can pin it to the left.
Pin notes to the right.
Or to the right.
Open slide over.
Or we can do slide over, which is kind of like a floating app.
Activate default.
I don't know as much about that, but we're gonna pin
Open
it.
Slide pin notes to the right.
To the right. So I'm gonna double tap.
Safari on left, notes on right, dock, messages, 40 on red.
Now
messages.
the dock is still open, so we need to close that. I don't know if this is a bug or what, but this is what's happening. So I'm gonna do the gesture again.
Safari, 8:30 a.m. or 12 p.m. Jernigan Institute Technology Seminars, heading level 2.
So I've now hidden the dock, you might be able to see. And if I explore the by touch,
8:30 a.m. Child Care Services.
That's on the
level
left,
2.
the agenda. And now if I tap around the right area,
Notes, note, text field. Actions available.
We have the Notes app. Now, to make this more equal, as you might be able to see, Safari is the bigger app on my screen right now. We can explore by touch a bit to get to
Note, text field. Safari, split view divider.
The split view
Actions
divider.
available.
And it says that there are actions available. So if I swipe down,
Resize to half the screen.
I can resize to half the screen.
Shrink Safari.
Shrink Safari.
Expand notes.
Expand notes.
Expand Safari.
And expand Safari. I'll talk about what these expand options do in a minute. But what we want to do
Expand shrink Safari. Resize to half the screen.
is resize to half the screen. So I'll now double tap.
Safari on left. Notes on right.
So now we have Safari on the left.
Safari, 8:30 a.m. Child Care Services, 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. What's new with JAWS, Fusion, and Zoom Text? Heading level, bullet, lit, trade wins F.
And there's the session again. So now let's say I want to take down some notes. If I go to the right,
Notes, note,
the
text
screen
field.
and double tap,
Actions available. Quick nav off. Note, text field is editing. Insertion point at
I
start.
can now type. Now, since I have the keyboard docked, the on-screen keyboard is not going to pop up. So, but I can just type on the physical smart keyboard, which I want to put the phone down and do. And I'll just write something like,
What will be coming out in JAWS 2020?
so I could, if I want to take note on a question that I might have when I see that. So we're wondering what's new with JAWS 2020 when that comes out. We could write that. Now let's go back to our agenda.
What will be coming out in JAWS 2000? Quick nav on. Safari. Discounted home annual licenses for all attendees. Join Eric Damery for his annual user group NFB meeting with 8:30 a.m., 12 p.m. Jernigan Institute Technology Seminar. Bullet. List start. Tropic C. Bullet. 8:30. 8:35 a.m. Welcome. Carl Villenger, presenter.
So let's keep going and find something else.
8:35. 10:05 a.m. STEM resources to help blind students excel. Matt Haggard, presenter. Bullet. 10:30 a.m. 12:00 p.m. Fun and learning with Arduino. Chansey Fleet, presenter. List end.
So I could maybe be wondering what is Arduino. So I think I might be still in that edit area. So I can probably type.
What is Arduino misspelled?
And yes, I could.
text operations, button, add table, button.
Okay, and now I'm back in notes. I didn't even have to go over there because it was already open.
Safari.
So now I can just work with both things. But let's say we're done now with notes and we just want to browse the web. What we can do now is find that divider.
Note, what is a split view divider?
Which I
Actions
just did
available.
by moving my finger around. And
Shrink notes. Shrink Safari, shrink notes.
now shrinking these would bring them back to the smaller sizes.
Shrink Safari, expand notes.
Now here is where the expand options come into play. We can expand notes, or we can
Expand Safari.
expand Safari. Now right now, I want to expand Safari. So I'm going to double tap.
Safari, skip to main content. Actions
And as you
available.
might be able to see,
Joint Waste National Convention. Vid 7:32:8:45
no more notes. So that is a very handy feature. So overall, my experience, just gonna close this out, with this iPad Air has been a super positive one. And I'm really actually glad I bought this. As some may know, this is my third iPad. I had an iPad 2 in 2011, and then I got a Mini 2, which you might remember because I featured it a few times on the channel. And now I have the iPad Air from 2019. So, you know, my journey with the iPad isn't new, but this is the first time I've really appreciated having an iPad. You know, I just think that you really can do a lot, and I'd recommend it to anyone, really. If you want something that will feel more like using a computer and not using a glorified iPhone, and the iPad really is that. And with what Apple is doing this fall with iPad OS, I think it's just going to get even better. So I definitely do recommend you take a good look at the iPad, but in particular the iPad Air. I mean, the smart keyboard just makes this a wonderful package. And, you know, at $4.99 for the iPad, it's not bank-breaking like the iPad Pro is. I mean, I'm really glad Apple came out with this, and I feel like they hit a sweet spot with it. I mean, you got Touch ID, so you can unlock it fast.
Beta folder, 4 apps.
And it works, you know, it's fast. Internet's fast on it. I'm just very happy with it. So I hope you've enjoyed these little demos. If there's something else you want to see on the iPad, you know, I'll see what I can do about demoing that. But I think that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to show you here. Definitely stay tuned to the channel. I have some other
8:51 p.m.
cool stuff. By the way, if you're wondering about these wallpapers that you're seeing, I'll quickly say these are photos I took, actually, at Rosenshingle Creek, where convention was the last few years. So that's what I'm using as wallpaper. Pool area and stuff, so... But that's really what I wanted to show you here. Stay tuned. I do have more stuff planned, and I think you will enjoy it, so look forward to uploading more content for you guys this summer, and I will see you in the next video.
We hope you have enjoyed this video. If so, please subscribe for more, and feel free to comment. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, at Gallagher123123. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.